You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Tawala Sharp filling in for Mo Later with Mo Kelly. And the robot revolution is even closer to becoming a reality as the robot overlords that will soon be hunting us down with Gatling guns and laser eyes as they come marching down the street through an apocalyptic Los Angeles. And we're praying for a Kyle Reese to save us all and rescue a young John Connor. Look, Terminator is getting to be more and more and more akin to a documentary with the way we are going with these robots. Is as if we people did not learn and I'm believing this is pronounced NVIDIA. NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, yeah.
The NVIDIA CEO is coming out saying that the humanoid robot revolution is closer than you think. Want you to hear me now. The individual who is in charge, the top guy at NVIDIA is saying, Mark, humanoid robot revolution is closer than you think. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang believes the humanoid robots are less than five years away from seeing wide use in manufacturing facilities. This is something that he claimed in his keynote address in front of a packed hockey stadium in San Jose recently, where he unveiled software tools that would help humanoid robots navigate the world more easily. He is developing software, AI software, that is helping these robots to think on their feet, to be able to process things as they're moving around and using their humanoid bodies, not little, robot dogs walking around, not carpet cleaners, actual walking robots. The robot that he was standing next to, it was about his exact same height. It was a female humanoid robot, and he's just talking to this thing, and this thing is just looking around. It's just like it's taking in the sights, and I'm like, oh Jesus, this is scary as I don't know what.
So this wasn't so much a warning as a promise.
Oh, this is absolutely a promise. This is absolutely a promise. When answering questions, Wong said, quote, when literally humanoid robots are wandering around, which is not 5 years away, this is not a 5-year away problem. This is a few years away problem, end quote. He's telling us the things that you're worried about with these robots and the advancements that we are making and all of that, this isn't just a 5-year away problem. This is something that we need to be thinking about right now, because it will be here in the next 5 years. The manufacturing industry alone is already putting in so many orders with companies that his software is supporting to bring in humanoid robots into factories and different places to help workloads. This thing is out of control. And this isn't right now. This is not for sexual pleasure. Right now, these things are for working in factories. These things will be patrolling as security for property. Once you say that you've got a robot that is patrolling and doing security, that sends a shiver down my spine. Because what you're saying is you have a robot that could quite possibly stop a crime. What is it stopping a crime with? What weapon is this robot armed with? I don't care if it's armed with bear spray. I don't want to be walking down the street or walking in the courtyard here in the iHeart properties and the iHeart bot walks up. Please return to your workstation. I'm off, iHeart bot. Please return to your workstation. No, iHeart bot. And they're like, man, what happened to T? He denied the iHeart robot.
Yeah, especially if you can't have sex with it. That's the whole scenario is unacceptable. And the thing is, most people don't want this and we don't get a vote on it. It's just being done anyway. The people responsible for this don't understand the fundamental concept that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it.
Well, that is true, but when it comes to things like Waymo and autonomous vehicles, I have to disagree.
Here we go.
Because Waymo, they are testing a new vehicle called the Zeekr in Phoenix later this year. The Zeekr is already a hit in China, and this is like a bus. I think it looks a little bit like the bus thing that Musk was trying to release, but Waymo's like, nah, dog, you're not about to get the jump on us. We've got the Zeekr coming, and we've got the Zeekr coming next year. So it's already on the streets in Phoenix. Well, it will be later this year for early testing, and then it'll be out and about for all. So
how do you spell Zeekr?
Zeekr, Zeekr.
Sus. Don't like it.
No. It looks like a little minivan. It's not like the Jaguar I-Pace. This is it's already operating autonomously in Phoenix. This is a 6th generation Waymo driver technology vehicle. 6th generation. Okay, right now the I-Pace is only at 5th generation. The ones that are around here in LA, the Zeekr in Phoenix, this is already a 6th generation. That means it's already thinking faster than what we have here in LA. It's already thinking on its feet.
So when you put it that way.
I'm just saying, yes. So, all of the robots that have been running over grandmas, Zeekr doesn't do that.
Now, would you trust one of these things with your life?
Yeah, I'd get a Zeekr.
Is that its own brand? So it's not a Jaguar model. It's its own brand, its own make.
The current ones that we have. Oh no, the Zeekr. It's its own make. It looks like.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a little minivan. It's like a little 4-door little minivan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's its own thing. I don't know who Zeekr is made by, but Zeekr is made by Waymo. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. The vehicle will be equipped with 13 cameras, 4 LiDAR. I guess it's like a radar. LiDAR.
Oh, LiDAR.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Which uses laser technology to remotely sense surroundings, 6 radar, and an array of external audio receivers, which the company claims increase performance, but at a lower cost than their current vehicles.
And at a lower cost than just employing a guy to drive the car?
Yes, much lower.
I see. Okay.
Much lower, Mark.
All right.
Much lower.
I think I'd rather have the dude driving the car.
Mark, in a minute, I'm trying to tell you, you're about to have a robot driving the damn automated car. That's what's about to happen. I just want you to be ready, Mark. I don't want you to have this doubt or this, opposition to the robots coming, because they're going to know, Mark. They're going to know what you were saying.
I will never get in one of those until they're on tracks. And you know the word we have for those? They're trains.
Mark, right now, the trains that are operating here in the Los Angeles area, a lot of those, they're operated by AI.
What?
Yeah, a lot of these metro trains.
Plus, you get stabbed.
And there's that.
Yeah, there's
that. So I'm saying right now, robots aren't stabbing anyone, Mark. All right? People are stabbing people. That's what's happening, Mark. That's what's happening.
You're not going to sell me on the Waymo thing for a long time. I just
Why?
There's
Jeez Louise.
There's just something about a human operating a 2,000-pound vehicle that inspires more confidence in me than somebody's computer program.
I know we have to go to break, but yeah, he's the last person to ask about that, because he also didn't want to watch Breaking Bad till it was done.
What's this got to do with anything?
You didn't want to have Apple products until you realized how easy it was.
This is ad hominem, and
nope, it's absolutely accurate. And then once it happens, you're like, yeah, I got so beaten down. Now I'm going to do it.
Your argument's invalid, and we have to go to the news right now.
There you go.
KFI 640.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Twala Sharp in for Mo Kelly. Later with you hanging out. And the AI takeover does not just stop with humanoid robots and self-driving taxis. Nope. the AI plague, as Mark may refer to it, is heading to even fast food joints.
Mm-mm.
I know, and I know you're with me on this, but the worst thing in the world is going through a drive-thru and trying to order something, and you got someone who I swear sometimes they're playing, and you read them the order. Yes, I would like one combo number 8, regular size with a Diet Coke. No, what? Can you say again? Yeah, sure. Is your order correct on the window? Yeah, no, that's not what I ordered. And you're like, dude, I'm going to kill somebody. Seriously, the reason that I do not go to McDonald's anymore, and I know, grown ass man eating at McDonald's, what am I doing? I know, it's a problem. I know. But I did like their filet of fish sandwiches. And I would go there and get one sometimes when I would be getting off late, and I could go over to the McDonald's that's just up the street on Devonshire and Lancashire.
Yep.
I would go because that one's open late.
Yep.
And that was my spot. But I went to Riverside. I'm sorry, is that Riverside? Yeah, Riverside.
Riverside Drive.
Yeah, Riverside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a McDonald's. It had to be now going on 5 months ago, and they got my order so wrong in the drive-thru, and they were such idiots about it. I went into the location fuming, only to find no people working at the customers. There was just someone there was no cashier, no nothing. There was kiosks where you would order the food, and someone that was coming out of a door putting food on a counter. And I was like, what the hell? There's no staff here?
See, you agree with me. You can't have a Karen tantrum at a machine.
It's tough to have a Karen tantrum at a machine. And the person was like, I'm sorry, sir, can I help you? I'm like, the order that I put in was absolutely wrong, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll get you the thing. So he got me the drink, whatever. And I said, you know what? I will never in my life come to McDonald's ever again. You people absolutely bite it. Okay. and I left out of there. I think I slammed the drink down in the parking lot in protest.
You showed him.
I was just so through.
Oh, wow.
I was through. I was angry, right? But it all had to do with my experience in the drive-thru. Mm-hmm. Well, now every single fast food joint basically is adopting this new AI menu technology. There's this new report that's coming through QSR, and I don't know what QSR is, but I guess they know what they're talking about. It's the drive-thru report from QSR, which tracks and takes data from quick service restaurants, i.e. places that have drive-thru windows. Almost all, with the exception of like 2, all fast food restaurants are now adopting and investing in digital drive-thrus that use artificial intelligence to make sure they are tracking what you're saying, getting your words absolute. So it's like the person that's at the window, they're probably not even talking to you. You're probably talking to the AI that's taking your order and is able to understand what you're saying. Even if you're sloppy drunk late at night going through a Jack in the Crack, they are getting your order. And this is where we're at, Mark. It's like right now, a place like Chick-fil-A, they are taking the top spot as far as with their drive-thru orders, where their orders are now up some 93%. 93% rating increase as far as the quality of drive-thru orders being taken. Taco Bell, 85% as far as accuracy with now this new digital technology that they're employing at these places.
Yeah, well, you've never enjoyed diarrhea until you've gotten it from a drive-thru AI.
But here's the thing. With less people, that's less of an opportunity for diarrhea, because diarrhea is probably coming from people in there not washing their hands. Now, you have different places that there is actually like in what's the coffee place I love going to? Dunkin', right? Dunkin' is actually designing digital only restaurants. Digital only, no people except for the person that comes and drops off the supplies and puts them into the machine. No, but that's it. Digital only restaurants that have just a kiosk and it just makes your order. Boop, pops it out.
I don't want that. And by the way, it's not
Wait,
just
you want the diarrhea?
Well, no, I'm going to ask if you hold the diarrhea, please. But it's not just the big chains that are doing this. I went to a barbecue joint last weekend, and I get up to the counter. I notice there's a screen to my left next to the counter. The human employee comes up to the counter, and I'm ready to give my order, and he says, "Can you punch it in on the screen right next to you?" And I'm like, "But you're right here, and I know what I want. Can't you just take the order?" It's like, "No, you got to enter it on the screen." And guess what? The order was still messed up.
That is going to change soon, good sir, because this isn't something that you can fight. I'm trying to tell you, Mark, I know you want to fight it.
Oh, I intend to fight it.
You're only going to be able to fight it by not going and getting anything, and then you're just going to starve.
I'm not just going to lie back and enjoy it. I will fight this.
Mark, you are going to lie back and put your feet to the ceiling and enjoy it, sir. I'm trying to tell you. You absolutely are.
But I think that's why Taco Bell kind of got it right, because they're doing the whole Demolition Man thing where it is like the order is AI, but they have to have people put in the actual physical items to give it to that little vacuum thing that comes down.
For now.
Oh, for now.
For now. Because soon enough, there will just be one person who comes and loads all the ingredients, and, the taco bot will be cooking and prepping it up and will just give you your order to perfection. Just bzz, 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 bzz. Here's your order. Take your order, sir. Thank you very much for coming to Taco Bot.
If I could at least enjoy like the novelty of like a Taco Bot 9000 at the window with a hat on it, I might be in it just for the sport, but you don't even get that satisfaction.
No, you're not going to. And when it comes to these AI advancements, that's actually all we are going to get. And that's it, Mark. There is some saving grace, though. And that is our fond memories of yesteryear, i.e., the life lessons that we all learned from Evel Knievel. Yes, let's get into that when we come back.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. Tawala Sharp holding it down for Mo Kelly. This is Later with Mo Kelly. And you may or may not be familiar with the name Evel Knievel. I grew up at the point in Evel Knievel's career when Evel Knievel could do no wrong. One of the greatest things to ever be produced by any company ever was the Evel Knievel wind-up motorcycle, where you took your Evel Knievel action figure and put it on a motorcycle and put it in like this almost holster, and it had a little handle on the side, and you would wind it, and hit the button, and pow, that thing would take off, and it would hit this Evel Knievel jump, and it would typically flap over to the side, just like Evel Knievel. It would just crash badly, but you loved it because you were allowed to live the adventure. When I was a kid, we did not necessarily have superheroes per se. Yes, they had Saturday morning cartoons and the like, and you had weird cartoons. Hanna-Barbera, there's weird people that were on these shows. You had the Super Friends, but that was really campy. That wasn't really cool. That was like, yeah, okay, Super Friends, great. But, Hanna-Barbera,
don't forget Sid and Marty Krofft.
All, Land of the Lost, live action shows where people were the heroes. Evel Knievel was a hero. And it's odd because it like I grew up and Mark and even Foosh to an extent, maybe on the tail end, maybe he was just maybe born, possibly, maybe not. But growing up in a period where people were the heroes, all right, Ponch and John, two California highway patrolmen just patrolling the Southland, keeping it safe, all right? Magnum P.I., a cop with a Hawaiian shirt and a mustache. David Hasselhoff or Michael Knight, a guy in a bulletproof car. That was the most amazing thing about him, is that he had a bulletproof car that could talk to you. It was amazing. My car today says, it'll warn me, you're getting too close. And I'm like, all right, Kit, calm down. So, I mean, like, we had actual people as heroes. And this is the world we grew up on before, like, Superman came out with Christopher Reeve and changed the whole paradigm of like, oh, a superhero. You know what I'm saying? It was guys. It was, and then you had the far off, Buck Rogers and things, but Buck Rogers was still a guy. Flash Gordon was a guy, and that was the beauty of it. Evel Knievel, just by watching Evel Knievel fail, we learned life lessons. Now, I don't know about you fellas, but me and my friends, we tried to recreate Evel Knievel stunts. There was one point where me and my friend, we wanted to do a jump over me. All right. And so we had boards we had boards that we put up on a brick, and the brick, it was like a square brick, but a cylinder or whatever. And we tried to put the ramp up on the brick thinking that was going to hold it, not knowing that the brick, as soon as he hit it, the brick was going to fall over, fly into me as I'm laying in between two ramps.
Yeah, There's something about elementary physics and engineering that's lost on a lot of kids.
We didn't know that that's what it took to be Evel Knievel. We thought, just do it. I remember I cut my groin really, really bad trying to do an Evel Knievel jump and just flying forward and hitting that little area on the bike handle. And it wasn't covered. Oh, I got a nice little groin shot with that one.
Well, so you were actually emulating Evel Knievel, because didn't he brag that he had broken every bone in his body?
Yeah. And I didn't really get that. Thought to myself, yeah, but he's Evel Knievel. His bones grow back miraculously or something. I don't know. I mean, for Evel Knievel, Mark, around the time when he was coming out, what was your headspace? Like, what did you emulate, or what did you think about Evel Knievel?
Well, just like you, we had our bikes and we made little jumps in the neighborhood and in the alley and the vacant lot, and probably risked our lives. We're probably lucky to be alive right now because of some of the stupid stuff we did. And we didn't understand at the time, there's no good reason for Evel Knievel to be doing anything. Why would you jump 14 buses or the Snake River Canyon in a jet cycle? Well, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
you?
Yes.
Because it's cool. That's why. And he's even got a cape. Of course he's a hero. And by the way, there's an Evel Knievel pinball machine that once I strike it rich with that lottery we're going to win from Michelle, I'm getting that in my one-bedroom house in Anaheim.
You have to. You absolutely have to. I think that's, of all the life lessons Evel Knievel left us with, it's to try to go further, to not be afraid. I mean, like the things that Evel Knievel would do, I'm sure as kids we're watching it and we didn't know any better, but every adult probably around the country was like, oh my God, this guy's going to get himself killed. But for an entire generation to teach us to be fearless, to teach us to take every challenge head on and do it with such care and pride, and even in his failures, he would do his best to try to put a thumbs up or something like that. I remember the dude caught on fire once. It was like, oh, and he put the thumbs up and it was like, he's okay. And it was like, wow. They used to come on Channel 5. They would have a whole special. It would be like, Saturday, Evel Knievel's going to do a jump. And it would be like, just sit around the TV waiting for it to come on, waiting for Evel Knievel to jump.
And it was before, or it was, I guess, after my time. But when I think of Evel Knievel, I think of indestructible. And I think that's what you guys must have grown up with.
Well,
when it comes, you know what I mean. But like but the thing is, he actually did it. It wasn't just a movie. It wasn't pretend. He actually went out there and did it. And then he went out and did it again, even if he failed, like DeWalla said.
No special effects. None of that. It was just him doing. I used to think it was his magic suit. I would think it was maybe that white suit with the stars on the side. I thought that was it. I had no idea what allowed Evel Knievel to survive all those different things that he did.
Well, here's the deal on watching Evel Knievel. It's a win-win, because if he makes the jump, yay. And if he doesn't make the jump, also, there's something pretty fun to watch too. He bounces around for a couple 100 yards like a rag doll, and there you go. You win.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I absolutely love all my memories of Evel Knievel. I really, really do. And
did you have the toys though? Because I never had them. And,
yeah.
And you talking about them makes me want to get on eBay right now and buy them.
I actually didn't. And you know what's interesting? I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Fork reporter Neil Saavedra has an Evel Knievel right now. I think he has the wind-up motorcycle. And if I'm not mistaken, he might also have Mego $6 million man figure.
Oh, because now that you've started talking about this, I am remembering there is a photo somewhere of little young Mark, like 6-7-year-old Mark, with my friend at Halloween. He's got the fancy store-bought Evel Knievel Halloween costume with the mask, and I've got the crappy homemade vampire costume. And I wanted nothing more than to kill him and take that costume. I just wanted to bludgeon him to death, which would have, I mean, it would have been kind of true to the character, and he would have been grateful.
That's very Evel Knievel.
Or so I thought, yeah. Break every bone in his body, take the cape off him, and just go around trick-or-treating in it on my own.
Take the cape. I love it. I love it. Man, the life lessons that Evel Knievel gave us.
What prompted this?
You know what's interesting is the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal just did this expose on the life lessons of Evel Knievel. And just reading through it and just looking back on all the different things that he did. We will touch base with Nori. My first time touching base with Nori. Looking forward to it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Tawala Sharp filling in for Mo Kelly. And in just a few moments, the incredible, the uncanny, the incomparable George Nori is going to take us to the next level with Coast to Coast. Mr. Nori, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
I should have you introduce me as shows all the time.
I love it.
We're doing great. We got a great feel-good show tonight. We're going to have some fun on Coast to Coast.
You always do, and that is why we tune in, good sir.
Thank you, sir.
Before we get out of here, you know something, Mark? I thought about this.
Yes, D.
Last Friday, I was after the show. I was sitting in, and typically I'm working on the podcast after the show. So, and I've got the radio on in the background. It's helping me move, listening to Coast as I do.
Now that James Brown is dead, you are the hardest working man in show business.
Well, I would like to see what it would be like for you to step up to that plate. And I say this because I've heard that it's like some special guests sometimes filling in on Coast to Coast from time to time. And I said to myself, you know what? I would like to hear Mark Ronner filling in one time on Coast to Coast.
Just once? Oh, I'd
or
love
anytime.
To do that. I would love
I mean, look,
to
anytime.
Do that.
I think you have quite possibly one of the most interesting ways of looking at things. And I would love to see you peeling back the layers of the beyond, getting into the unknown, getting into the things that we may think are real but may not be, but also the things that we just don't know about.
Well, from your word to either God or George's ear, I've been a Coast listener since way back in the Art Bell days. I've always loved that show and always had a predilection for paranormal, supernatural stuff. I'm kind of a natural skeptic, but I'm still interested in all of it. So yeah, I thank you for bringing that up. That'd be great. George, if you're listening, I'm here for you.
I think we should absolutely make that happen. I know Mo has been planning the lunch gathering for a while now, and I think that should be one of the topics because sometimes, when you come out of the studio and you walk by the mixing station where I'm at working on the podcast, and you'll, wax poetic about some this, that, or the other, and I'm always thinking to myself, man, Mark, your mind and the way you put things together, you're like unnaturally deep. You're like on the seafloor with it.
It's either put me in prison or give me something like that to do, I think. And, I think I mentioned to you that the last comic book story I sold was a Bigfoot Sasquatch story. And that stuff has always been fascinating to me.
I mean, that alone. I mean, you know, your work that you have with zombies and those stories and just all that. That's what I'm saying. Your mind and how it goes. To me, it's like you are the closest thing that I know to someone who thinks like, I believe, Rod Serling thought.
Well, that's a big compliment, and I've written The Twilight Zone, too. And that's, of all the comics that I've written, including my creator-owned one, the zombie western called Rotten, The Twilight Zone is the thing I'm most proud of, because I don't know who your foundational people who are like at the basis of your personality when you were developing and were heroes to you, but there was no bigger hero to me than Rod Serling, and I devoted a massive amount of effort to trying to recapture his voice in the comics I did. And by the way, if you go out and buy any, the trade paperbacks are available. You can find them anywhere. I don't make any money off those at this point. I got paid one page rate years ago, and that's it. I like to connect with other people who love Serling and the Twilight Zone. And I even reached out to Serling's daughter, Anne, to be a guest when I guest hosted. And hopefully we can make that happen at some point. I love all of that stuff.
Okay. I'm going to put it into the universe. But when you fill in for George Norrie.
When? Yes, now it's when.
It's when you fill in for George Norrie, you have got to get Anne Serling on and just go hog wild.
Oh, I'd love to. And I follow her on, we're Facebook friends, and I follow her on X, Twitter. And every time she posts something from her father, it's so inspirational to me, because we need Rod Serling right now. And you've got to remember that these weren't just fantasies. They were vehicles to comment on his times. And I think often, what would Rod Serling say about the things that we're experiencing and seeing right now? And I think he already said it. It's there. It's there in his work if you go back and look at it. And I do very often. So if you love that, you and I are brothers.
This is why. It's the cats. It's Rod Serling. And I'm telling you right now, look, Anne Serling, go on and have your people reach out to Mark, because when he fills in for George Norrie, we're going to need to have you on as a guest. All right.
Now all we have to do is make sure George knows about this.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Mo is out tomorrow, so I will be filling in for him tomorrow. We may not have the movie game, but damn it, we're going to have a Friday full of fun. TGIF is on the way, so make sure you tune in for it tomorrow, 7:00. Be here or forever be square. This is KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We go through all the that's going on so that we can tell you just the you need to know.
KFI
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.